there. This is Sam
And this is Ken.
at Big Apple School.
And today we're asking what's the crack about?
Our experiences in Russia.
All right. Wow, that should be an interesting topic.
Will it be? Yeah. So the Russian Federation, Ken. How long have you been here in Russia?
Well, probably not as long as you. I've been here for roughly, 7 months now? What about you?
Yeah. I reckon 2.5 years. I haven't counted it. But I guess 2.5 years. I also, do you know I lived in another city?
Really?
Yeah.
Before Novosibirsk?
Yeah. But I was a student there. So I was in Rostov-on-Don.
Where is that?
It's European Russia. In the south.
Okay. In the west. Southwest.
I guess west, yeah.
Of
Never
course.
eat shredded wheat. Yeah, it's in the west. Do you know that? Never eat shredded wheat?
No.
You should never eat shredded wheat. Do you know shredded wheat?
I don't even know what it means.
And you haven't lived.
I haven't, I suppose.
Shredded wheat, no. Shredded wheat is a breakfast cereal, but it's not the sweetest. There's not a lot of added sugar and stuff. In fact, maybe none.
Oh,
In
okay.
shredded wheat, it's literally wheat that has been shredded.
All right.
And it kind of looks... Have you ever seen a farmer's field when he's gathered the hay?
Yeah.
And in a big bundle?
Of course.
That's shredded wheat. That's what it looks like. That's not shredded wheat, but it looks like that.
Okay. All right then.
And so never eat shredded wheat, north, east, southwest.
Okay.
That's how I remember it. They tried to teach me another way, Ken.
That sounds like fun though.
They failed.
Miserably failed.
So anyway, I was talking, wasn't I? What was I saying?
How long did you stay there before you moved to
I was there.
Novosibirsk?
So I was there 8-9 months, studying Russian a little bit, taking a break from things.
All right.
Then I went back because I was working studying back in Northern Ireland, and I took a break. Took a break to study, Ken. You know, to study Russian. I mean, I thought it would be easy, and then I learned about grammar. And
How was it?
It was an interesting experience. I'll say. I new, different, very new, very different. I liked it. And then I went back after that for 2 years to finish my degree in Northern Ireland, in the Ulster University, or when it was called the University of Ulster. Ulster. Okay. So about 2.5 years here, and I've lived a bit of that time in Akademgorodok.
Akademgorodok.
Yeah, or Akademgorodok, whatever way. Yeah.
Okay. I've heard about it, but I haven't been there. Yeah.
Nice nature, plenty of trees and stuff. And you have Novosibirsk State University there.
NSU. Yeah.
NSU, NGU.
NGU, yeah.
NGU. Yeah, I was there for a while. New building and everything, yeah. Ken.
What?
You're gonna ask me something.
Yeah, I have a question for you. I mean, what made you decide to come here to Russia?
Russia, for a long while before I came, I had been learning the language a little, not too seriously, but travel language, you know. And I had been reading the history, particularly 20th century history, and it was interesting to me.
So that was a pure interest.
Yeah, and like this big country that, I mean, from my point of view, unexplored. If you ask someone in Northern Ireland, the UK, about Russia, they don't know anything. In fact, a lot of people get mixed up, or used to, between some of the former Soviet countries and Russia. They're like, is it the same place? Is it the same thing?
So they mix it up.
Yeah, because a lot of, especially a little bit older people, still remember the Soviet Union and don't see it as a separate country. They just don't know enough. And what we know about it, or what I knew about it before I started to learn, was more from James Bond films.
Is that? Yeah,
the Bond villains, Ken.
Is that
like the Bond villains?
Yeah. Wait. Is that about From Russia with Love? Are we talking about the same film?
I don't know specifics.
Because that's one of the Bond films.
Yeah, but that's absolutely one. But I'm sure there was more than one Bond film with Russian villains and stuff. I mean, always villains, right?
Yeah.
All these evil Russian people like trying to take over the world, the Cold War, and all of that. So that's the stereotypical stuff and bears playing balalaikas and drinking vodka. You know.
Oh God, that's a stereotype.
Yeah.
In Matryoshka.
And everyone's a spy in Russia. You know.
Yeah, I know. I've heard about
everyone's
like, the KGB.
a spy. And if I go there, I'm a spy.
Oh, okay.
I automatically become a spy if I come to Russia.
That's like
in the eyes
stereotype.
in the eyes of stereotypical people, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, but I ended up. Let me interrupt you. Interrupting. I came to Siberia specifically because I'm at heart maybe a little bit of a hipster kid, and I don't like to do what everyone else does. You know, and where would everyone else go? But if they came to Russia, they go to
Moscow.
Yeah, Moscow.
St. Petersburg.
Or maybe St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Weren't you hesitant, or I don't know, like, didn't you think twice about it? Because, you know, when you say Siberia, the reputation is kind of like, oh my God, that must be, you know, very cold out there with, I can imagine like bears and, you know, white everywhere.
It didn't scare me. I mean, people are living here, so it's obviously livable. So it didn't scare me, the idea. No, I mean, I'm not one to be afraid of weather, bad weather. I would be more afraid of hot weather than cold weather.
I suppose.
So, what does it feel like living in Russia so far? You've been here 7 months? Yeah?
Yeah,
so
I've been here for 7 months now.
Yeah.
And I should say though that, so far it's, you know, so far so good. I like most things here. I'd say that most things are affordable and, you know, services in general are quite good. People have been very nice to me. They've been very pleasant, especially at the shops. And sometimes when they hear you speak in English, they realize, oh, we have a foreigner here.
Hear me speak in English?
I mean, the people, not you, local people. When they hear, you know, somebody speak in English, they think, oh, okay, so there's a foreign. And you know what? There was one particular experience. I went to one place, I forgot the name, but anyway, I was walking with a friend, and then suddenly one woman, I was kind of like, you know, why is she staring at me? So I asked my friend, could you please take a photo of me? So he took a photo of me, and then after that, this woman, who was a complete stranger, she came up to me and...
Not half a stranger.
Complete stranger. Okay. So she came up to me and then she asked, so where are you from? And I said, I'm from the Philippines. And then she started...
In English?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, okay.
And she was just kind of fascinated, like, oh, okay, so there are like foreigners who visit Novosibirsk. And I said, yeah, of course. And then she asked me what I was doing here. And I said, well, I work here as a teacher. Yeah. And so she was with us for a little while just to, you know, speak. And she was honest with me when she said that, I want to practice my English with you. That's why I'm having this conversation with you. And of course, I didn't mind it because she was so nice. So
yeah, good. She kind of accosted you, but it was nice. Yeah, I had kind of experience like that once. Like, I was talking to someone in English on the street, and someone came up to me like, hi. You know, it's kind of,
they're friendly.
Yeah, it was out of the blue, and I didn't know the person, and it was quite strange. It was like, hi. So yeah,
how many?
I was talking to someone, like a friend in English, and there was a guy came and was like, hi. It was unusual, but it was a little bit strange, but it was okay.
So how did you respond to that?
I think I just said hi. And that was
Hi,
and then I walked on. I think I was like, what?
You could have been a little nicer by saying hi. So what?
I was a bit shocked.
Like,
to be very honest.
Hi. So
I'm just not a nice
what can
guy.
I not do for you?
Maybe I hadn't drunk my coffee.
You should have. That's
Maybe
why.
I hadn't drunk my coffee. I'm drinking my coffee, Ken.
I can see you're high now. Caffeine effect. Which reminds me, I should drink mine too.
Осторожно, горячий. Yeah.
Impressions about Russia.
Yeah. I want to know more about. So, what are your impressions of Russian?
You know, so as I've said earlier, I think, okay, to be honest with you, and I hope, our listeners here don't take it negatively. I spent 5 years in Kazakhstan, and I was told that Russians in Russia are like a little more serious and maybe less friendly. Okay. So I thought, okay, let's find out. So I think it was.
So that's why you came to Russia?
No, not
Are they serious?
Not necessarily, but
are they serious about them people being serious?
But I remember on my second day here, I did this kind of a social
Chinese
experiment.
people are very serious. Maybe you should.
No, I don't think so. They're kind of loud. But anyway, so on my second day here, stop interrupting me. On my second day here, I made this kind of a social experiment. So I started asking people for directions. So I pretended I didn't know how to go to a certain place. Yeah. And then there's this guy in particular. His name's Alexander, who's become my friend now, or I call him Sasha. At first, of course,
a lot of people would.
Yeah. Of course, the first thing I asked him was, "Вы говорите по-английски," which translates to, "Do you speak English?"
Yeah, I've heard that phrase. Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, he said "нет," which means no. So I tried. I thought,
I know that word.
You understand me? Okay, no need to translate. Anyway, so he said "нет," and then I thought, okay, so how am I gonna explain this? So anyway, I just asked him, so где Novosibirsk Galleria? And then just when I thought he would just tell me the directions, he told me пойдем, or let's go. Yeah. And I was really pleasantly surprised, because when I was in Kazakhstan, nobody, walked with me to my destination. Okay. They all just told me, okay, you have to go left, right, go straight on. But, surprisingly, he said, пошли, let's go. Yeah. And then I told him, не надо, no need. But he was so kind, he was so nice to me, and we were talking. He asked me, so where are you from? What are you doing here? And finally, when we got to Novosibirsk Galleria, I really thanked him. And after that, we exchanged numbers, and guess what? He's my friend now. So I've got a friend.
Okay. On your second day. Yeah. Great. So you were kind of an actor for a day.
And I have just proven that, in fact, Russians in Russia are friendly, warm, and they're very, very nice.
But was he serious?
He was serious, though.
But in what way serious? Like serious, not joking, or serious?
I mean, he was serious helping me.
Like deathly serious.
Yeah. I mean, but not serious, like.
Okay.
Anyway,
I think we get the idea.
Now, what experiences do you have with the weather?
Okay. So I want to tell you, Ken, about an interesting experience, or at least interesting for me, when I first, because it was completely new to me to feel minus 35, on the street. Well, minus 35. The temperature was minus 35, but maybe it felt worse, There was a day, it was a couple of years ago now, maybe 2.5, 3, where I and a friend from NGS, right?
There's a media company, right?
He was Japanese, and here's me, Northern Irish. And we were from, living in Akademgorodok, but we were invited to a musical theater of a sort, and it wasn't simple to get to, and I had never been there, and I decided double geese, right? You have double geese?
I have, but I've never used it.
It's great. It's great. It's very useful. But I double geezed it, if you can say that, right? And I was like, okay. Back in the olden days, we would have, drawn a map, or literally drawn a map, like a very rough one, or we would have printed out something. Yeah? Do you remember those days?
Of course.
Yeah? I'm not so old. Okay. I'm as old as you, maybe. Am I as old as you?
No, you're a little older.
So he and I were double geezing it. So we came on the marshrutka, this minibus, and from Akademgorodok onto the metro and out into the street. And we had dressed well, for the winter. but not well enough. I think we got like maybe 100 meters from the metro station, and we were like, wow, this is cold. And we went into a burger place. And interesting, I got ice. It was an American place, and I got ice in my drink. It was a minus 35 outside. And I couldn't remember how to say no ice, but they just automatically gave me ice, Ken.
At minus 35.
It was minus 35. We came in to get warm. It would work better in California, I guess.
What a great way to have a drink.
But anyway, we moved on, and what I didn't know, Ken, is I never experienced this, that when you're out, say 20 minutes, holding your phone in minus 35, your phone starts to lose interest in life.
True.
You know, it starts to die. And my battery died, and we were bitter cold. And he and I were sort of halfway there, and spoken broken English, broken Russian together, because I don't know Japanese, not great in Japanese. And he used his phone. And so between my phone died, then got his phone, we got like 3/4 away there. And we just managed to see the street before both our phones died. Yeah. And I was like worried because I didn't know where to shelter. And we were so cold.
You must have been in panic.
It was a shock for me. I don't know. I don't know. Was it just my hands were freezing? I wasn't wearing my glove properly and stuff.
I can just imagine.
It's not a temperature that you want to go out for more than an hour, right? And it was a very cold day, and we were so glad to get to this musical place, musical hall or whatever. But it was an eye opener, right? Next time, if I have that experience, I'll be drawing a map. You know, it won't crash.
At least you've got something with you to remember about Siberia.
But I don't know. I don't know if it was just because we were out searching so long, or it was a cold wind. I've never had such a day like that, you know, where it was.
So that must have been the worst.
I think I'm not going to survive, you know.
That must have been your worst experience with cold weather.
It was my first winter in Siberia, and I think it was just such a shock, such a new experience.
Well, you can just imagine if that were me, I would have, oh God, I don't know, I would have screamed.
I don't know, it was just the fact that we were in an area I'd never been, and there didn't seem to be anywhere to shelter, you know, and it was so cold. But it was, I don't know, yeah.
Let me share with you.
Anything like that?
Yeah. Well, I remember specifically last year, I can't recall the exact month, but there was a time when I decided to go out, to leave my flat and go somewhere and, well meet my friend. And I decided to wear just my coat, and I can't remember if I had my scarf that time, but I didn't have any kind of protection for my head. Yes, because I was thinking that I wanted to buy an ushanka, which is a Russian fur cap with, you know, and
very, very kind of stereotypical.
I had this fantasy of looking like a Siberian, and I thought, okay, I'm not gonna use my cap or hat for today. I'm gonna go out there and go to a shop and buy this ushanka to fulfill my Siberian man fantasy.
Your destiny, Ken. Yeah. Okay.
But oh my God, it was a huge mistake. So I went out, as I was walking, I was about to meet, you know, my friend. I thought, oh my God, this is impossible. You know, the cold, it cuts like a knife.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, it was so stupid of me to do that. I was walking and I was literally, I was shaking. I was shivering. And I thought, what a stupid idea.
We have a word for that. We have a word for that. You were foundered.
Say that again.
Foundered.
What?
Foundered, yeah.
Foundered. Okay, whatever.
Really cold.
It was. And I thought, God, I'm not going to do this again. And I was shivering. And then my friend said, oh my God, Ken, what are you doing? Where's your cap? Where's your scarf? And he said, I didn't expect it to be this cold today.
When was it? What time of the year was it?
I think it was in the middle of winter. It was
Middle of winter.
I can't remember anymore which particular month, but yeah.
So, do you use an app to find out what the temperature is?
Yeah, I know. I do have that on my phone. However, that day I just didn't check it. I just decided to go out.
I've decided it's quite important because you could go out and out in the morning and come back in the evening at a completely different temperature. And it's very unusual for me because Northern Ireland doesn't do that. Rain, but not different temperature like that.
At least it's consistent.
Well, the temperature doesn't change, but the rain, on, off, you know. Changeable weather, but in a different way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you never got your ushanka?
I got my ushanka. I have finally fulfilled my Siberian man fantasy. I don't have my ushanka now, but I was so happy to wear it. And of course, after that, I immediately uploaded my photo on Instagram. And I was so proud to share it, by the way, on Facebook. And my friends, of course, they reacted, "Oh, Ken, finally, you look like a Siberian man."
But you need to have a beard with icicles.
Yeah, I know. But there was a time, when was it? About 2 or 3 weeks ago, when ice formed around my eyelashes. I took a photo of it with my ushanka, which I uploaded on Facebook, and they said, "Oh my God, you're becoming more and more like Siberian." And everybody was, you know, they laughed at me somehow.
Okay.
I just need to grow, you know, some beard so that I will look like a real Siberian.
I like to call it face garnish.
Face garnish.
Yeah, face garnish. How's your Russian?
Well,
I mean, when you go, you obviously have to live here and maybe not in work so much, but when you go shopping, you have to buy groceries. I mean, how do you communicate? What's it like?
Well,
express that to us. Explain.
Okay, before that, I just want to share to our listeners, as I've mentioned earlier, I've been to Kazakhstan, and when I was there, I was trying to learn Russian by myself through an app. And I just want to share, this is a classic example. I've said this many times to my students. When I tried to learn Russian, and then there was a time, I think it was in 2014, I went to a cafe to have lunch. And then I thought, okay, I know some Russian words now. Let's put it to test. So I went there, and then I talked to this lady. I was pointing at some food, you know. I said, "Это пожалуйста, это пожалуйста." So this one please, this one please. And then she asked me what to drink, like something like papit or pit. And then I understood it, and I thought, wait. I thought, okay, maxi chai. It's kind of a iced tea. And then when she asked me, nol piat, I said, oh.
Yeah.
What is nol piat? I was like, nol piat. What the heck is this?
Yeah.
And then I figured maybe she's asking me what kind, because
that threw me at first actually, because we never really do that.
You understand nol piat?
I know what it is now.
Half a liter, yeah.
But at first I was like, what does that mean? Because we never say it like that. Like it's small, a can, a bottle, large, medium. We never say like no three, no pet.
Yeah, I know.
We don't do it.
But so when she asked that, I just assumed that maybe she's asking because you know maxi chai, it has different flavors. You have strawberry, you have apple. So I thought maybe
I can just imagine from her point of view, like no three, cherry, please.
I was about to say that.
Go ahead. Okay, spoiler alert.
So I was thinking maybe she's asking me, do you want strawberry or maybe pineapple? And so I asked her to repeat the question, and then when she asked again, nol piat, I said, "Нет, яблоко." She laughed at me. And I said, oh, she's laughing, so okay, I got it wrong. She went to the fridge. She, got 2 bottles. One of them was big, the other one was small. And then she, I said, "Eta." I said, this one.
She made an effort, great.
And then she told me, "Eta, nol piat." And then I understood. Oh, okay.
She's a good leader. She could be a good Russian teacher.
I was so happy because that's how I learned my Russian. I don't go to courses.
You're a visual learner, and
I just got it from experience.
Yeah.
But so far now that I'm here in Russia, to be very honest with you, I haven't really made any serious effort to improve it. I think my Russian is...
I'm doing my sad eyes.
My Russian, I think, is comparable to that of a 6-year-old boy, but not bad because I can buy something when I go to the shop. What else? I can
not
order...
7, not 6.5.
No,
6-year-old boy.
Probably 6 years old.
Yeah. Do they ever ask you, where's your daddy?
Because you speak like a 6-year-old boy. No, I don't sound like a 6-year-old boy.
It's a good thing you don't look like a 6-year-old boy when you go shopping.
I just sound like one because, of the way I say my sentences.
Coffee can.
What about you?
Can we hear the sound of coffee?
Go ahead. Make it louder so everyone can hear.
I want to gargle it, but I don't think that.
Yeah.
Don't think people will want to hear me gargle.
Of course,
coffee.
It's gross.
Coffee can. How do you take it? I mean, I know in your mouth, right? I mean, no pet.
No, yeah.
Black. Do you take sugar?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
But not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
One. How do you say one sugar? Because I never take sugar. I don't need to say it. They say something. How do they sometimes they ask me, "Dva something." I don't remember how they say it.
I don't understand. Anyway, but I understand because they're asking for a number, and then I just say,
"Answers on a postcard." We can ask the listeners. Answers on a postcard.
Yeah.
Send it.
They have to go find it.
I'm just like, no sugar, no milk.
How do you say that though in Russian?
Okay. You're so bez sahara.
Oh yeah, yes, that is without.
Bez молока, something like that.
That's without milk. Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and that's all you need to say, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
Speaking of which,
at least it works for me.
Yeah. So speaking of which, how's your Russian?
7-year-old boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well,
1 year ahead of me.
I don't practice often. Maybe not as much as I could or should, but I do. I think because I've studied a bit at university, I think I've learned quite a bit of grammar. Maybe not used as much as I would like, but I know quite a bit of grammar and I've learned quite a bit of vocabulary. Just I think the execution of it all, the practice eludes me sometimes. I'm maybe a little bit hesitant. Let's say I'm not so outgoing with strangers, even in English. So to speak with strangers in Russian sometimes can be very unnerving for me.
Yeah.
A little bit scary. I'm like, they're judging me.
Yeah. The same thing that goes in my head.
And I just feel, they'll judge me. They'll know I'm not Russian. Because for me,
how do you find the pronunciation of words though?
It's what we call in Belfast, Northern Ireland, we would say it's mustard.
Which means what? You have to explain it to our listeners.
It's tricky. It means it's tricky. It's not easy. Pronunciation, I'm sure. I'm always told that my L's and T's sound like English.
Could you, for the benefit of our listeners, I'm sure they're going to have fun with this.
Normalna.
Say that again.
Normalna.
I think that's
Normalna.
Normalna.
I really try.
I have a better pronunciation than you.
Maybe so.
Give us one sentence. Just, I'm sure.
Okay.
For them to judge you.
Here's the scenario. Here's the typical scenario in a shop, right? This is what my conversation in a shop will be like. So let's say, maybe Dobry din, right?
They say that?
Dobry din, no, they say it,
okay.
Right? And they're Dobry din, или Dobry utro, or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, Dobry din. I probably speak quietly because I always do anyway. But I'm like, yeah, Dobry din.
Go ahead.
And then they're like, paket нужен.
Do you need it?
And I'm usually like, yeah, or I'm like, да, пожалуйста. Right? Маленький, большой.
Not bad. But you have some accent there. Right. I can tell you're not a local.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I used to try more with the accent, but then my mentality changed. I'm like, then they're gonna know I'm not Russian anymore. So why? I mean, as long as it's clear.
Yeah.
Maybe I've become lazy. I don't know. And so that's about the conversation that you need in everyday for someone that's only doing groceries.
That's like survival Russian.
Survival Russia. Не надо.
Не надо.
Не надо. Пока не надо.
Не надо.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess that's about it for our third episode for today.
Okay.
What do you say?
Yeah. So we'll talk a bit more about Russia.
And stay tuned. So we'll see you in the next episode.
That has been What's the Crack?
What's the crack?
What's the Crack?